Hey, this is Valerie Love. How are you? How are you, boo? So good to see you. I've been sitting here waiting for you to come to YouTube and click on this video. Anyhow, today I want to talk to you a little bit about the stupefied charm. The stupefied charm. And what do I mean by a charm? A charm is a spell, or otherwise known as a hex. And I don't usually use the word hex because hex sort of has a negative connotation. And to me, when I use the word hex, hex more means that you're going to do something that is problematic to someone else. So that's how I use the word hex. So I like to use charm for spell. Somebody called me the other day and wanted and asked me if I could do a spell. He was asking for a fame and fortune spell. And I did not do that spell because when you ask for fame and fortune in a spell, you can really be asking for more than you bargained for. And that's really with any spell because you don't really know how the spell is going to turn out when you do it. So when you ask for certain things and then it comes, you have to be really careful. I'll give you an example. I used to be in a book club, and there were seven of us in the book club, six at one point, but most of the time six for most of the while, and we called ourselves the Seven Sisters Book Club, and the seventh sister was for all the women that weren't present, so there's six of us. And so anyway, there was a sister in the book club, and she asked very specifically for a man who was good with his hands. So she was wanting to attract this wonderful mate, and that was her request to the universe. Oh, I want a man who's good with his hands. And she asked that because she had a home, and in the home she wanted him to be able to take care of things around the home and to make sure that everything was well taken care of in the home. Well, she got a man that was good with his hands. He came, and he's a sign language interpreter. So she got exactly what she asked for, what she had spelled for. And when I say spell, everybody does spells all the time. You're always doing a spell. You're thinking and you're putting energy with it, emotion, energy in motion. So since you're always thinking and you're always thinking about something, you're always casting a spell. That's what most people don't understand, that the power that is harnessed in the mind is the power of the divine. So she spelled for a man who was good with his hands, and she got a man who was good with his hands. But when she asked him to do stuff around the house, he was like, "Baby, I can't do nothing around the house. These hands have to. I can't be sawing wood and fixing stuff. These hands have to sign tonight." So be careful what you ask for. That's the moral of that story. So let's talk about the stupefied charm. So that's why I say when we're talking about spells, charms, and hexes, be very careful what you charm for or what you hex for. Because the things that you hex for and charm for or cast a spell for may not come to you in the form or fashion that you were originally thinking or might have an idea of. Okay? You never know how this stuff is going to return to you. So be very careful. So the reason that I did not cast that spell for fame and fortune is one, I don't really believe in casting spells just for fame and fortune. For what? What do you want fame and fortune for? Like, that's not even a desire of the soul. The soul cares nothing about fame or fortune. I asked my soul, the human me, oh, it cared a lot about fame and fortune. The soul doesn't care nothing about fame and fortune. It simply doesn't. It's not even an idea that comes to your soul as something that would help you to evolve. And that is the main mandate of your soul: evolution, evolve to oneness with the one. That's the only reason why your soul is here, is to experience oneness with the divine. So we might call it enlightenment, or Christians may call it born again, or we may call it nirvana. Whatever it is, it's this state where you can truly state, as the Christed one did, I and the Father are one. That's all your soul wants. And everything that your soul is doing here is to cause it to evolve to that. So let's get clear on that. So I don't cast spells on stuff that are just frivolous stuff. Why? For what purpose? I am about your soul's destiny. I am about my soul's destiny. So let's talk about spells that are really helpful to you on the soul's journey. And this particular spell is the Stupefy charm. Now, I call it the Stupefy charm to really make it simple for us to understand because it was in Harry Potter. So, since it was already in Harry Potter, people will understand it. But this spell has been around way longer than Harry Potter. I got to tell you, this is like one of the oldest charms that you can use. Now, let's talk for a second before I go deeper into the stupefied charm. Let's talk a little bit more about charm versus hex. So I use the word charm because charming has a wonderful connotation. We love things that are charming. Hex sounds like somebody put a voodoo curse on you and now you got to go to somebody and get it off. So let's kind of stay away from hexes and let's work with charms, shall we? So the stupefied charm is really just a simple charm. It's a stunning charm, and it simply stuns or stops or halts the energy. That's all it does. It's a stunning, okay? You can feel it, right, when I do that. Now, let's talk about the scientific basis for it working. You don't need a wand for this charm because you already have in you, you are your wand anyway. So if you have a wand just because you like to, I have wands just because I like them. I don't need them. You don't need a wand either because you got the most powerful wand in, that's this. You are the wand. And so the basis for this stupefied charm, as I'm going to show it to you, is right here in your hand. That's why I'm sitting back here so you can understand it's right in your hand. Now, right here in the palm of your hand, you have a chakra spinning. You have a chakra in this hand too, right in the palm of your hand. Powerful energy. You can even feel the energy, can you? Powerful energy. And it shoots out, it's illuminating out almost like a beam of light. So imagine a huge beam of light coming out of the palms of your hands. That's the power and the energy. You feel it, don't you? Coming out of the palms of your hands. Now, when you understand this, all great magicians must first understand and own the power that we have. So the first thing you have to do is you have to understand on a conscious level. You've been doing this unconsciously. You've been doing this all along. Every time you said stop, you were doing a stupefied spell, a charm, every time. And when you did that, you stopped people dead in their tracks. It works every time. It works every time, even if you're consciously doing it or unconsciously doing it. It just works. Why? Because it's energy. So, give you a perfect example. This stupefied charm, depending on how masterful you get with using the stupefied charm, or I'll also call it the stun charm, or the freeze charm, any of those words, it means the same thing. It means simply to halt the energy, okay? The more masterful you get at using this, you can then determine how long the stun will last, like a stun gun. Okay, so let's look at the law so you'll understand that I'm not just talking about magical hocus pocus stuff that you can't really use practically in your life, because this is magic is very practical. We have stun gun, right? The police use them on you, or maybe not on you, but the police use them. Where did they get the idea of a stun gun? And the stun gun does what to you? And then you can't move. Where did that come from? The law says, as above, so below. Everything that we have in the physical manifest universe came from an idea and an existing divine ideal in the unmanifest. As above, so below. So in the above, there's an idea of stunning, halting, stopping the energy if need be. And we have devised the physical means to be able to do that, to stop or stun. Most people, like I said, need some kind of implement to do that, like a stun gun. And I spoke earlier that magical people, use wands. When you become a very masterful magus, a masterful mage, a wizard, a warlock, witch, whatever you are calling, bruja, whatever you call yourself, once you become very masterful, you know that you don't need all those implements. You don't need a tarot deck anymore. You don't need a crystal ball. You become the most powerful instrument you have. Back to the stupefy charm. So today I used it. This is where I got the inspiration to talk about it today because I used it today. So I'm out on my walk. I love walking. It's beautiful outside. It's like 80 degrees. I love it. So I'm walking, walking, walking. And where I'm walking, there's a parking lot and there are a group of cars. So I'm walking behind the cars and I didn't notice that there was a car backing up. And he didn't notice me. The driver didn't notice me either. So what did I do? I used the stupefy charm. Simple. Halt the energy. Stop. Now I didn't say stop. I didn't wave my hand. Stop. None of that. Stop. Because I understand this beam of light and powered energy that's coming from my hands. I understand it. I see it every day. I meditate on it. I know it's there. And next thing you know, he had the brakes on. So you can use it. I give you a perfect example of how it's used. If you've ever heard, talk to the hand. If you've ever heard about that, somebody was using the stupefy charm. Talk to the hand. What does that mean? That means, I'm not trying to hear it. And right away, it stuns the person, it halts the person from saying what they are saying and until they can collect themselves and say, well, wait a minute, did you just put your hand up at me? I've seen 3-year-olds do that. And next thing you know, the people are stunned, like they're taken aback, like it is actually a movement of energy that goes like this. Stop. I'm not even trying to hear it. Wow, it works. You've been doing this stuff. This is nothing new to you. You already know about it. That's why you're attracted to this video, because now you want to master it. You've already been doing it. Now you get to master it. Yes? Because that's what we are. We are masters of self, masters of the universe. Stupefy, simple, with intention. That stops the energy. And depending on how well you use it and how much you master it, how well you master it, depends on how long you can stupefy someone or something. Now, warning. Don't just run around stupefying people. Stupefy, stupefy, stupefy. Don't do that. Why? Why just stupefy people? Just to stupefy people. Don't do that. Like if there's some energy coming toward you that you know you want to, you can do it then. If you see a vehicle coming, I mean, it works all the time. Cops use this all the time. State troopers, I've seen them walk on the street with racing traffic and go like that and stop a car that's going 60 miles an hour. Something in you just reacts to that stupefy charm. So that's the warning. Don't just stupefy them or running around willy-nilly. No, we are responsible mages. We are responsible for the energy that we bring onto the planet. We are responsible for how we use the energy. And we are responsible and we are accountable for right use of law, which I pray to share with you and to teach you. I love you. Be blessed. Visit me online at valerielove.com. While you're there, click on Val's books. Click on books and pick up one of my books, whichever one speaks to your soul, or click on events and come and meet me in person. Let's get up close and personal, shall we?